Good evening, Professor, class. My name is Olufemi Ogundari, and today I will be talking about the week one assignment that states what leadership is all about and what two or three important action of behavior or behavior that I took as a leader in that particular situation, and what things did I do as a leader that made a difference in this situation, and what word would I use to describe this experience and to describe my takeaway. So if I can go into a quick definition of what leadership is. A leadership is pretty much is the action of a leader of a group and or organization to make a direct impact either from the short term of accomplishing a mission or the long term of accomplishing a mission. So when we talk about a leader, some of the basic attributes that are that in my opinion that a leader is to have is, number one, you need to have a domain knowledge. You need to be a subject matter expert, not subject matter expert in a broad spectrum, but a subject matter expert in the sense that you can answer some basic questions in your field of operation. And if I can wrap this in from the military aspect of it, as well as from average Joes that have never been in the military and don't know our military term, you also have to have what we call extended beyond the chain of command. And when I say extended beyond the chain of command, in the sense that you are, as a leader, you should be willing to go above and beyond your call of duty to be able to solve an issue, to be able to come to a concrete solution of a problem, or to be able to come to a common understanding between one subordinate to another and be able to deconflict any issue that you might have within the organization. And to kind of bleed into the two or three scenarios or situations that I was once that directly impact how I have became, if I must say, how I have become the great leader that I am today. It was a situation that happened. It was back in 2007 when I was deployed to Iraq. I'm not going to give you the full spectrum of it in a sense that the OPSEC of it, which is the operation security aspect of it, I will not disclose of it. But the way that I will break it down will give a full understanding of where exactly that I'm trying to get at. It was a hot summer day in Basra, Iraq. That's the southern part of Iraq. We were supposed to go outside of the wire, which is outside of the main gate, to conduct a convoy operation. So, we went outside the wire. We picked up some potential detainees, and we were supposed to bring them back onto the base and process, go through the process of inputting them in a system and running a scan and fingerprints and things of that nature. And we picked them up on our way back. This situation, I was an E2 private. I mean, the lowest of the totem pole. And the E6 staff sergeant that was supposed to be leading this operation, that was supposed to be the subject matter expert in the sense that we take orders from him, who was the leader of that operation, did something that was, I'm not going to call it borderline despicable, but at the same time, it passed that smell test. He was doing things that he was not supposed to be doing as a squad leader. And I don't know where where their bravery aspect of me came from, or where the bravado aspect of it came about, I stood up to this staff sergeant and let him know. I pulled him to the side and let him know, hey, son, what we doing is not something that we are supposed to be doing. It's these people are detainees, and once detainees are captured, at that point, we safeguard and we are responsible for the well-being of these detainees. And this should not be taking place. We should not be doing this. At first, he, as an E6 staff sergeant talking to a private E2, he felt that, that I was out of line by talking to him in that manner and not obeying a lawful order, which at that point was not lawful. It was far from lawful. So he took it upon himself to initially to kind of downplay the fact that I was just the bottom of the totem pole E2, and I did not have the authority to stand up to him and let him know that he was out of line and he was doing things that that he's not supposed to do. So he kind of pulled me to the side and and let me know that he was forced on a deployment, for one. Two, he does not want to assume any leadership role whatsoever. And three, he does not have the desire to follow the rules of engagement that's been instilled in us to be able to go outside the wire and pretty much win hearts and mind of the local population. And as we all know, the military people, as we all know, winning hearts and mind of that little city in Basra, Iraq, is prevalent to their mission and is pertinent to how we, in the long run, get to the end state of what we're trying to accomplish, as far as military wise, and as far as the infrastructure building of that community, and able to work hand in hand to be able to get to a common end goal. So not to kind of ramble off topic, but that situation that day eventually shaped me up to say that being a non-commissioned or going the enlisted route was not really what I want to take my military career in. And when we came back from that deployment, I immediately enrolled in the ROTC and told myself that an officership is my route, and that's where I want to take my military career in, and be able to I guess be able to influence other people and be able to lead by an example, and to be able to lead others to be able to do the right things at the right time, not only when the microscope is on you or the magnifying glass is on you, is when you feel like you have to do the right thing. I just felt like from that point, I felt like, my main teaching point to everybody that I've come across that's doing something bad is always one thing that I tell them. If you, whatever it is that you do when nobody's looking at you, I believe you should do the same thing when everybody is eyeing you and all eyes on you, and you are being put on the spot to do the right thing. So with that being said, it kind of shaped me as a leader, and it kind of shaped, my point of view as to how I see myself as a company commander, that I have seen myself as a squad leader, that eventually switched to the commission side, and I was a platoon leader, to being an executive officer of an army unit, now to being a company commander. And it has kind of shaped me and kind of shaped my leadership style to be, you know, somebody that you can approach, somebody that you can talk to. And that's why I've always told my soldiers, even, you know, when it was instilled in me back then, is, you know, as a commander, you always have an open door policy, and you always have to be, you know, you always have to be approachable. You always have to be a people's person. And that's why, that's how I have shaped my leadership style, you know, to be that kind of leader, to be approachable, to understand that, you know, being a leader, it's not given. It's not a right. It's a privilege. So I have not, you know, over the course of my platoon and company leadership time, I have, you know, told myself that, you know, it's not the rank, it's the person behind the rank. So, you know, my takeaway from this is, to be an effective leader, you have to be an awesome follower. When it's time to follow, you follow to the best of your ability. And when it's time to lead, you step up to the plate and be that effective leader that people can look up to and say, yes, I can follow Captain Ogundairi into a battle any day, anytime, any place. So with that being said, you know, my first one, video, my week one, I am looking forward to many more, you know, to 7 more. And, you know, right now it's kind of fun. And any comments, concern, or, you know, what I need to do to be able to make this a better video going forward, please don't hesitate to let me know. I love criticism. I can take it any day. I can take it anytime, any day. Don't hesitate to give me that honest criticism. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.